All right, here we go. Video time. My name is Eric. I am coming back at you. I just never know how to start these videos, so whatever. Sorry, my computer's here dinging at me. So I'm going to bring you lesson 227 in the Course of Miracles. And I'm going to talk about whatever else comes up. I mean, I'm just blown away. I really am just blown away. At how life transpires, how everything is divine, everything is perfect, whether it feels that way or not. So, from the last video, I kind of shared, I've kind of been going through it. I just have been feeling really not as connected, not in the flow, not, just kind of I always the word muck always comes, it's just kind of feels things are feeling a little mucky, So I've just been working through that, I've just been showing up, and I've kind of talked about that. So I just keep showing up, just keep, doing the things that you find helpful, whatever that may be. If it supports self-love, loving yourself, and listen, this can be a tricky game we're playing here, And the lesson in the Course of Miracles I'm going to share, I mean, I'm all over the place in this book. I'm not doing this course the way that it describes, and I'm kind of all over the place a little bit now because of how things have transpired, things that have come up, and opportunities. I felt like there were opportunities I took, getting into this group that I had a really powerful call with yesterday. And for me, when I start feeling like I had over the past couple of weeks, and then kind of from that last video that I did, I always want to disconnect. I always want to not show up. I always want to, just isolate, not connect with other human beings, because that's super important to do, right? To feel good, we need to connect with God. We need to connect with other human beings. We need to connect with life. So that's what I tend to do. And for 2 weeks straight, I didn't show up to, we'll just use that kind of meeting and session as an example, that I disconnected from. Things that bring up uncomfortable feelings for me. Well, I don't want to get on this call because I'm just not in a great place. And, what am I going to bring to all this stuff that's not true, because, whether you're feeling in the flow or not, you showing up, you're being of service either way, right? You're being of service if you're bringing something to the table for someone that is struggling, or if you're the one struggling, you're bringing your stuff to the table for other people to serve you. Because really, this is, one point I want to make, and I believe it says in today's lesson, and one thing that really stuck out to me that somebody shared in the meeting yesterday was that we've never left God. We've never left. Take that in and chew on that a little bit. That we've never left. And when we think we have, that's when we struggle. When we act in accordance with we're separated and that essence isn't all around us all the time. The divine, the spirit world isn't around. I'll go back and say, I believe as human beings, we're only seeing a minuscule of what this universe has to offer. And so that was brought to my attention. That was super helpful. So maybe if you watch this video and you get to this part, you'll say, oh, well, yeah, I do believe that. I forgot. We do that a lot. We can forget very important, key, critical things. So before I was getting on here, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? There's so much that I could share. And it's and then every time I kind of record one of these, or I'm in a meeting, or I'm talking to someone or something like that, there's always more that comes up. And I'm like, man, that would have been really nice to share. But there's also this meme. I'm going to, I guess I'll find a good place to put it. I don't know if I'll put it in the beginning of the video or like kind of insert it here. Maybe that would be a good place. And it was, I get these daily inspirations, I guess you'd call them, from Alan Cohen. Really great guy, really guy that's really tapped in, connected, and comes from a place of truth, to me. For me, in my perception, like, and a lot of other people's too. A lot of people that know of him and have read his material and are connected to him believe, kind of the same thing. That's all you kind of get from, you just know. That part, that true part of you just knows when somebody's being, I hope that's the sense that you get out of these videos with me. Because I feel like that's always what I'm trying to be. I know sometimes I forget and I fall out and I'm an ego and I'm working on doing the best I can to not be that anymore. But it's okay when it happens too. That's the thing. Like, it's all about love and grace. It's all about accepting where you are and setting. One thing that's really coming up for me a lot in my life is, setting boundaries, like not really massively what's happening. I have to get back to this kind of thing from Alan Cohen that I want to talk about, and it connects to the lesson today, is I just realized how much lately that I've lived my entire life people-pleasing, feeling guilty about certain things, and feeling bad about saying no to certain things, or not doing certain things that maybe I don't want to do, maybe don't support me right now, and so that's been coming through really powerfully, especially today. I want to honor myself. When I honor myself, I honor you. We're all in this together. As another thing in the meeting from yesterday, it was like, we don't go to heaven alone. So, this is, if we really are never left God, and, as this course describes, we're all one mind outside of this dream of separation. Like, it blows my mind when I talk about this stuff. I'm like, man, but how easy is it to fall into when everything seems so separate in this 3D dimension, right? So yeah, how important it's been to honor myself, love myself. And if there's stuff that makes me it doesn't seem to support me right now, that's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. And that just feels so much better. It feels so much more loving. And it feels like it's so much more of what we truly are and what God is to me, which is just love, unconditional love. And when you try to force things, anytime you're trying to force something, I don't believe it's probably in your highest, truest nature or for your highest good. As I say it, as I share, I'm like, well, there might be certain things that we got to push through. We got to do. We have, there's some of that in there too. But it's this game of like, it's up to you, What are you feeling like doing? And honoring that and being okay with, it's okay, whatever way it happens. So anyway, this, I have it on my computer over here. It's a daily inspiration from Alan Cohen again. So it says, much of humanity's activity is insanity masquerading as reality. And the meeting that I was in, we were talking, it's kind of just a free-for-all. We just kind of talk about whatever. We talk about the Course of Miracles. We connected all to that. And because this course teaches truth. I mean, I just believe it just teaches you truth. And we talked a lot about that. We talked a lot about the insanity of what's going on in the world right now. And then it's a dark, kind of like a collective dark night of the soul that's absolutely necessary. This waking up, that needs to happen. So I thought that was really cool. I'll include that in the video. And then let me just go ahead and jump in and read this lesson and see what else comes up, because it's got some good stuff in it. So lesson 227, this is my holy instant of release. Father, it is today that I am free because my will is yours. I thought to make another will. Yet nothing that I thought apart from you exists. There you go, right there. It just told you the same thing right there. It just told you that if it's not of love, if it's not of, of God's will, of God, it doesn't exist, so take that as you will. And I'm free because I was mistaken and did not affect my own reality at all by my illusion. So anytime you want to snap out of this false identity or anything that you're believing that isn't of truth, it's not going to affect your reality, which is the reality of God, of Creator, of universal intelligence, of source energy. However you look at that, I want to look at that, and whatever you want to label it. Now I give them up and lay them down before the feet of truth, to be removed forever from my mind. This is my holy instant of release. Father, I know my will is one with yours. That's the first paragraph. There's another paragraph. But I want to take a step back here. And when it says here to be removed forever from my mind, right? And that's what I've been trying to tune into with myself. The more I practice this course, the more I tune in to God, the more I tune in out of insanity, which you see a lot in the world, the worldly things, the system, as I would say, and I say that a lot, and I have a whole video that I did earlier on when I started this channel on the system. And the system's very egoic. And to me, it's a lot of little children, traumatized children, that never really woke up to what's real, putting on a show, and just, it's just very egoic, very, like, whatever. You might be like, well, what is he talking about in the system? Like politics. There's so much that I could go down the list of. I'm not even going to go down. I mean, it's a whole nother video, really. So you can't be tuning into the mainstream news and all this kind of stuff, basically, is what I'm getting to, and actually finding reality. You're going to have to find it somewhere else. You're going to have to find it in maybe a course like this, or your own kind of path, whatever that is, to whatever speaks truth to you. And see, that right there, when I say that, it's like, it's subjective, right? It's like, well, I believe the news is true. Oh, okay. Well, then, okay. I love you anyway. Like, I that's another thing I've been practicing. It's been coming up for me is, no matter what I see, letting people be exactly where they are. I mean, I was very unconscious in a lot of behaviors in my life that I would have, it didn't matter what somebody said to me. They would have said, Eric, you're being, alcohol was my big thing, to kind of run and hide and numb and not wake up and not be a part of reality. And I remember people did say stuff to me, and I'm like, I was unconscious. I was asleep. Ignorance is bliss, in a way, for sure. So I'm kind of getting off track a little bit here, but, I wanted to kind of go back and, I'm working to have this insanity removed from my mind forever. That's what that sentence said. And that stuck out to me when I read it. There was something in me, that true self in me is like, that God in me, the Holy Spirit in me was like, yeah, certain things stick out. I end up highlighting the whole damn lesson half the time because it's all so good. But anyway, let's go over paragraph 2, just a short one. And so today we find our glad return to heaven, which we never really left. There it is, right there. I had a gentleman in the group say the same thing, in there. And again, that holy part of me, that's another part of the course that I was looking at because of the group, that we're holy, that we are a part of God here experiencing, itself, and, always try to show up that way. It's tough. It can be challenging. And what the lesson was saying, what the course was saying in that part, or what, was the people that trigger you the most, basically, or when you need to show up, you really should be, you are it all the time, but like show up even more in that instant and bless them with your holiness, I think is how the course put it. And as you do that, you are in service to that other, this other being here and you. And together in all of this, we can get on track here. And, there's so much to dive into here. It's like, I always say, like, heaven isn't really a place. It's not a place that we go. It's in your mind. It's a mindset. There was something I was going to go onto on my computer that I just saw something about that. We can carry hell around with us, but it's not a place you go. So let me finish this lesson. And so today we find our glad return to heaven, which we never really left. The Son of God this day lays down his dreams. There you go. Dreams. This dream world. The Son of God this day comes home again, released from sin and clad in holiness, with his right mind restored to him at last. With his right mind restored to him at last. That's what I'm after. That's what is already. I just forget sometimes in this body, in this experience. And that's where I'm like, I don't want to go down. I'm going to try to stop this video here. There's lots to question and lots to talk about inside there, and that's why I want to join and have like the group I'm in. And I'm going to try to create something out of this channel, hopefully, that there's just more of that conversation. There's more of, yeah, I don't feel right in this world either. Things here don't seem right either. Like, let's talk about that. It's okay. Like, there's lots of things going on in the world with people doing things with themselves and kind of playing into the system and playing into the narratives and playing into this stuff. And what I see is I already created one false identity here I already created one false identity here. And I see people, what I see happening with others is they're creating another one on top of that yet. You already kind of did this and feel separate. And then with kind of this stuff that you see in the world with, I don't even know if I want to go. It's like with a lot of, I'll just go there. I don't, whatever. Like with this, I love people no matter what. With this kind of transgender kind of stuff is they're just layering another false identity on top of already a false identity. It's like if so that's just that's my perspective that I'm allowed to have. And if somebody else sees it differently, let's just have a conversation around it. It's okay. You love me, I love you, and let's just talk about this. Let's hash this out. Let's find truth in this. So, anyway, there was a ton more that I could have talked about and was coming up today. I think I talked about enough. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope you got something out of this video. I'm here to serve. and love and be compassion and grace. And that means if I have to do it for myself first so that I can actually properly, really honestly, properly give that away, so like I said, I hope there was something helpful in this video, that you can take from this and helps you, feel more connected. And yeah, I think that'll end there. And I want to try to make more videos. I just don't have I have to work on time management. I have to work on getting more stuff out there, because I feel like this is really, humanity's at a crossroads right now. I mean, there's some choices to be made right now that, and I know that we'll make the right ones. I know that we'll make the holy ones, we should say. There's no right and wrong. There's not, it's all okay. It's just, I really believe that we can make the holy decisions. There's decisions inside of truth and with love. So with that being said, I am out of here. I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. And I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but that's okay. And so until next time, I'll see you again in the next video.